this last 20 or 30 minutes is really where you get to ask us some questions. So we've talked about resume, we've talked about LinkedIn, we've had Lori join us, and we've had Dawn. Um, what questions do you have for us that we can help you in terms of your transition? Because we're here to help.
You know, earlier when you guys were going over the resumes, it's interesting how you guys really, what was it, Laurie? Really foot stomp that it should be no more than 2 pages, and that about what 10 to 15 seconds are spent on resumes. Because I do the hiring in my squadron here and at my last assignment, and a lot of those resumes are 10 pages, 15 pages, and yeah, it's still exactly what you guys said. I look for keywords that apply to the job, and I'd have to skim through 15 pages, and it'd probably take me a minute or two because it was so many. But it is a relatively fast process, and looking at how you guys presented to actually show the information makes sense, because had it been presented to me that way, you know, I would have found the best ones pretty quick.
Most people, a survey done by my SHRM organization said that most people spend maybe 10 seconds on a resume. So how much you've gone through 10 pages. Now, did you had to spend more than 10 seconds, but on the civilian side, it's 10 seconds.
But it wasn't a lot of
catch my attention. It's not going to be there.
And I'm sorry, ma'am, I didn't know you were still on, but very, very good point.
He had to jump off for a little bit, but you know, this team of ours, we're here to support each other, Manny. Yeah. Any other questions?
Yeah, it's something that I can't help but ask, but I mean, it's hard for me to believe that you guys take the time to do this, right? To set us up and get us on the right track. And you know, what can I do? What can we do to help you guys out? And I think I already got part of that is because I think if I push hard, I think we could have a full from Dias. I was very surprised to see that there was only a handful of us on there, you know, pushing the email out and pushing information out.
Well, I think the big thing you can do to help, as far as I'm concerned, is that the resources are out there, and it is, I call it a crime. It's a crime when people either don't hear about it or they don't take advantage of it. And it's like, for this presentation, we're going to be on 3 more times. And Don can share the links to the next 3 events. So it's like, I think the next 2 Wednesdays, and we skip one, and then we have a final one mid-March. So that there's an opportunity for folks to hear what we have to say. And again, you're getting it from different perspectives. You know, Don has his twist, Matt has his twist, and I have my twist, but they all fit together. And even when you go on the ETAP next week, you're going to get another spin. And then when you go to TAP, you're going to get another spin. And some folks even go to TAP a couple of times. But resources are out there, and we're here to help. That's the bottom line. We're here to help, but it's just, I feel so heartbroken when folks say, well, I didn't have anybody to help me.
Right.
I'm in full agreement with Kitty. I set up the first transition program as a test back in 1992 at what was Lowry Air Force Base. And the program that we created was not the program I went through when I left the Air Force 5 years later. Okay. This program is really close to what I think people need to know. You know, we do have 3 more workshops, and Kitty, I was going to talk to you about the one that got canceled with the snow, because I feel like I owe you a 4th one, and I'm happy to do that, weather being weather. But Manny, I've got your information. You know, you went through Eventbrite. I have your info. I will be sending you flyers for the next two. And then when the other flyers are done and we've tested the Eventbrite, I really could use your help. The other thing is, you're obviously part of the top 3 at your base, correct?
Correct.
Can you talk to all the top 3? And can we maybe come into a short, like 5-minute plug? Hey, this is what we're doing. This event's going to be, like the end of March. Please, please feel free to tell everybody in your organization this is what it's all about. And then when they heard, hey, I went through this, it was really good. They made me think about things that I wouldn't have thought of. That would be really helpful to us.
Yeah, we can absolutely do that. Push it up through the top 3, the Chiefs group, and myself and the other chief that had the LinkedIn. He's also a chief, and now that we saw this firsthand, we'll be able to actually talk about how great it was and pull hopefully quite a good amount of people in. Definitely.
Great. I think when I talk to some of the folks here at JVSA, it's like, well, my commander won't let me go, or my supervisor won't let me go because I've got things to do. And so they get behind the 8 ball. And I don't know whether that's just an excuse that they're using, or there's another factor that's involved. But again, the strength that you have as one of the top 3, and especially in your position, just availing the opportunity for whether it's our session or any of these other sessions, it's just, to me, it's free, it's out there, and there are follow-ons that can happen because of it. So it's just, we're here to help.
Now, will the upcoming ones, because I know you guys are doing one for Laughlin and another Texas base, are those open to Dias as well? Or are you guys going to set a new date for Dias?
No, those dates are open because we're seeing that there's, we have room for 100 people. Okay. If we had 30 like we had yesterday for our workshop, that's the right size. We welcome all. We understand this. We definitely would say yes if they want to come to those, as long as they have a reservation and we know about it. Then we'll make sure we have enough size. And if we have more than that, then we'll get creative and we'll change it to a webinar, and we'll make it so people get more one-on-one attention. Okay, that's the plan.
Okay, I know Laughlin is really small.
And
that was
then,
for 3 years.
And then just the whole concept behind this was, we see what's available at Fort Hood. We see what we do here in San Antonio. We know what's happening at Fort Bliss, but for the 5 bases that we had tagged, you guys are kind of out there hanging by yourselves. And so the original game plan,
Okay.
The original game plan pre-COVID was to be a road tour. Yep. Where we just get in a car and hit you one day a week, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, finish up at the other end, and then head home. But just like everything else in the world, COVID impacted, and so we kept pushing it off. And so finally, because part of the funding for the AV and some of this other stuff that's going on is a grant from MOAA. And so, the deadline for that was April 1st. And finally in December, we said, we've got to come up with another way of doing this. So that's why we're doing it now via Zoom.
Okay. And it looks so natural on Zoom based on, how the last year's unfolded.
Yeah.
But it's pretty impressive that you're actually going to do this in person.
Yep.
Well, we'd like to someday, maybe next year. We've already planned the route. It's going to start in Laughlin. We're going to go to Goodfellow, then a short trip. That'll give us, because Goodfellow, Abilene's an hour's drive, Chief, right? Give or take.
Goodfellow and Laughlin are probably about 2 hours and 40 minutes apart.
Right.
Laughlin's like in the middle.
We've done.
What's that?
I did the roadmap. My team put together the roadmap. Laughlin first, Goodfellow, Dias, Shepherd. That's the longest drive, and I've done the Dias to Shepherd drive and then coming home to Fort Worth. So that was our plan.
Because I know Laughlin is really small. I think when I was a first sergeant there for 3 years, and we maybe had 50 master sergeants on the whole base. It's a majority is all student pilots, so they're all brand new accessions.
Yeah.
And I know Dias, because I know you guys are saying like it's hard for some people to get on. Just Dias in particular, the maintenance community is having a lot of issues, and so like last week through the storm, they worked all through the winter storm. I don't even know how they got to work. They don't have any time on their hands. Other AFSCs they're probably doing a lot better.
Yeah.
You know, like in my squadron, I know we could put the make time and allow, you know, those folks that are interested to stay home and do this like telework.
Well, I'm a services person, so I'm sure the dining hall did not stop.
And we don't have that either. It's been closed for renovations.
Oh, really?
That makes it a challenge for our airmen as
Oh,
well.
that makes a challenge on a regular basis, let alone on in last week's situation.
Wow.
Yep.
Well, Chief, thank you for being part of this. I know a couple of people that had to leave. We are always build on what we learn. Kitty and Don, can we get together tomorrow to talk about this, and then also to talk about the additional date? And we have some input from Karen Rollerad. By the way, Karen told me to tell you that she owes you a bottle of wine.
Who's that to?
To Kitty.
Kitty. Okay.
Yeah, she
Yep.
said she owes you a bottle of wine. So can we talk tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow, I'm on a 8 to 5 seminar with Sarma. And I'm already interrupting for our Del Rio call, and I'm now interrupting for Don's presentation.
How about we do this? Can we do it at 7:30 before you go on your 8 o'clock call?
Absolutely.
Is that okay with you, Don?
Yes.
Okay. How about you, LPJ? Okay. I really appreciate the team that we put together. This is exactly what I thought we would get, and I'm very much impressed. Don, thank you for being part of this.
Thank you, Don.
Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate the opportunity.
My pleasure.
So Matt, are you going to be sending out a link for the phone call?
Yes, I will.
Okay. Okay. Yeah, no problem. What time are we going to do this tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
7:30.
And Chief, if you want to join us, you're welcome to. We're gonna talk to you more on the advertising end of it, okay? I'm the retired Air Force public affairs guy. I understand that, okay?
And Kitty, I'm going to clean out my ears here. Did you say 07:30?
07:30. I've got an 8 to 5 thing with Sarma.
Okay. Yeah,
It's
no
already
problem.
been interrupted twice. So anyway, but before we close out, Manny, how did you hear about what we're doing today?
So I was lucky I was filling in for the group chief, and the group chief's like, hey, take care of this. And I got a contact from IMSC over in San Antonio who said this was a really, really great thing to attend.
Okay.
I format the email before I sent it out to the wing or to the chiefs, because it was saying like, this is better than what you get from the Airmen and Family Readiness Center. And I didn't want that to be on, on something.
Politically correct.
So it was a contact in IMSC, and then he did the same thing you guys are doing, saying, hey, he said, what did he say? Retirement and separation is a team sport. So he offered me his information in case I have questions or need any help. So this is like an amazing start to something that I've been putting off for a very long time.
Well, you know who to call.
Yes.
So it was meant to be, Manny, because I'm Army and I transitioned out in 2004. Nothing like this was available. They handed you your DD-214. You walked out the gate and you were on your own. So
just think what it was like when I left active duty in 1979.
Oh, Kitty, you're gonna have to share that story.
Don't let the door smack you on the way out.
Yeah. So, but it's good. And the gentleman that was on earlier already LinkedIn requested, sent me a LinkedIn request. So he's working on it. The gentleman, Stefan, I think it was, or Steve.
Even, yeah,
Yeah, Steven. So yeah, so he's doing what he needs to do. So it's a good thing that you're here, Manny, and you're getting started.